Installation flowchart. Install the antenna according to the installation flowchart. Unpacking and checking materials. Step 1. Examine the packing box for damage. Take out installation guide and get the installation tools ready. Step 2. Use the crowbar to remove the lid with marks of the packing box and take out the strut rod and shield set. Step 3. Cut off the cable ties and take out the carton, mechanical flange, and mounting bracket. Step 4. Loosen the bolts securing the reflector assembly on the back of the packing box. Step 5. Take out the reflector assembly and complete the unpacking. Step 6. Check all accessories and components against the packing list. Assembling the antenna. Step 1. Assemble the shield set. First, arrange the shields as shown in the video. Note that the shields with absorbers are separated from each other and the curved edges are arranged on the same side. Then, install and tighten bolts on the joints to connect the shields. During the installation, ensure that the absorbers are on the inner side and the instruction label is facing outwards. Step 2. Install the radome. Insert the shield set into the radome and ensure that all the holes are aligned. Then, install and tighten bolts into all the holes. Specifically, assemble all the bolts and nuts and then install and tighten them one by one. Step 3. Install the shield set and radome to the reflector assembly. According to the antenna offset, select and align the label on the reflector assembly with the instruction label on the shield set and ensure that the arrows are pointing at each other. If the antenna is offset left, use the top offset left label for alignment. If the antenna is offset right, use the top offset right label for alignment. After the alignment, tighten all the bolts in opposite pairs. Installing the feed assembly. Take out the feed assembly and apply Vaseline to the joint between the feed assembly and the reflector assembly. Then, install the feed assembly onto the reflector assembly. Ensure that the marks V and H on the feed assembly are respectively aligned with the marks on the reflector assembly. Finally, tighten the screws in opposite pairs. Adjusting the polarization. Remove the 4 hexagon bolts inside the transition section. Rotate the transition section by 90 degrees in any direction to change the polarization, and then reinstall the 4 hexagon bolts in opposite pairs. Installing the mechanical flange. Remove the rubber plugs from the holes for installing the mechanical flange on the reflector assembly. Install the mechanical flange onto the reflector assembly and ensure that the polarization identifier on the mechanical flange is consistent with that on the reflector assembly. Then, tighten all the screws. Installing the mounting bracket. Step 1. Install the bracket attachment. Take out the bracket attachment and install it onto the reflector assembly. Then, tighten the screws. Step 2. Install the horizontal adjustment bolt assembly. Check the antenna's offset direction and then determine the position to install the horizontal adjustment bolt assembly based on the offset direction. Install the horizontal adjustment bolt assembly on the lower part of the bracket attachment regardless of the offset direction. Installing the antenna on the pole. Step 1. Install the non-slip bracket attachment. Take out the non-slip bracket attachment, install it on the pole as planned, and tighten the screws. Step 2. Install the antenna on the pole. Before lifting the antenna, select the lifting hole according to the antenna offset and check whether all the previously installed bolts are tightened. Lift the antenna to the planned position, loosen the bolts on the horizontal adjustment bolt assembly, and secure the horizontal adjustment bolt assembly to the non-slip bracket attachment. Then, use U-bolts to secure the antenna and tighten the bolts. Adjusting the elevation and azimuth of the antenna. Step 1. Perform the course adjustment of the azimuth. Hold the antenna, loosen the 9 nuts as shown in the video, and rotate the antenna to make it approximately face the correct direction. If necessary, use a compass to determine the direction. Then, tighten the nuts. Step 2. Perform the fine adjustment of the azimuth. Loosen the 9 bolts as shown in the video and rotate the adjustment nuts to adjust the azimuth of the antenna by -15 degrees to +15 degrees. After the adjustment, tighten all the bolts. Step 3. Perform the fine adjustment of the elevation. Loosen the 6 bolts as shown in the video, rotate the adjustment nuts to adjust the elevation of the antenna by -10 degrees to +10 degrees. After the adjustment, tighten all the bolts. Installing the strut rod. First, move the rod bracket to a proper position and install the strut rod attachment. Then, secure one end of the strut rod to the antenna and use the clamp to secure the other end of the strut rod to the pole. Finally, tighten all the bolts. Checking and tightening. After the antenna is installed, check that all the standard parts are properly tightened. Ensure that the rubber plug is removed from the water leakage hole at the bottom of the shield set.